Hello again, everybody. Time for another mini lesson on the significance of part of the United States that you're going to be mapping. And today, you're going to be mapping our part of the United States. There we are. Wave. So this is the Midwest. The Great Lakes up here. Our region sometimes is called the Great Lakes area, but we're part of the Midwest. And this was the first wild woolly frontier in America. So the historical significance of this, and for your mapping assignment, you've done these now several times, you know what to do, I hope, and take a picture and submit that to the proper assignment. But for the historical significance of the Midwest, we're going to be talking about it fairly quickly. It was one of the prizes we won for winning the Revolutionary War. Of course, the original 13 colonies here became the first 13 states right along the coast. But after the Revolutionary War, this became, to the Mississippi River here, this area where we live became part of the United States. So all of a sudden people wanted to rush over here and start a new life. It was getting pretty crowded on the coast, and there's lots of good farmland over here. So that started this push to settle into this new frontier. And what we're going to find out is that is going to be problematic. That's going to cause a lot of issues, because guess what? People already lived here, right? Indiana, for instance, we're named Indiana because of all the Indians who lived here before white settlement came. Land of Indians is what Indiana actually literally means. So we're going to find out that the struggle between the Americans trying to settle this area and bring it into new states into the picture is going to be a real violent struggle between Native Americans trying to hold on to what was theirs and the American settlers trying to spread out and increase this nation's power and economy. So lots of sad stories when we talk about that. One of my favorite Americans, as you're going to find out, is an Indian chief named Tecumseh. And if you're in my classes, we'll talk a lot about Tecumseh later on, because I think he was one of the greatest American leaders we ever produced. The only difference between him and some of the men on Mount Rushmore is that he was not a part of our government. In fact, he was seen as an enemy of our government, but he was only trying to do what any great leader would do for his people, and that's protect what was theirs. And unfortunately, he did not succeed in that, but he succeeded more than most had ever succeeded before him. So when I think of this part of the country, I think of great farmland, and I think of the history of issues that ended up being a very sad story for Native Americans. So the Native Americans ended up getting pushed further west and further west until they had no place else to go, basically. So we'll talk a lot more about that as we go along. But for today, you need to do your labeling activity on this map. Follow all the directions, color it nicely, and label them. And again, you're going to be putting that together with the other maps you're doing to use those to study for the big 50-point label all of the United States. It'll be a numbered map, and you have to tell which numbers are which states. So go get them.